It has been one boring weekend so far for BTC. In this video, we're going to get down into the charts for Bitcoin to see what's been going on, or the lack of what has been going on for Bitcoin in the last few days. As I get into this, I find it useful and informative. Hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you'll be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all of that said, done and out of the way, if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free to join, so why not go ahead and check it out? I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Right, let's get into this. Right, so we've got Bitcoin here paired up with USDT. We're on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. Now, for the most part, we had 5 waves going up just over this side here. Okay, so we have these 5 waves coming up. There's very few patterns that start with 5 waves, so it kind of makes us understand exactly what's going on here a little bit easier. We have this move come down here. We have this short bounce, and then we're pulling back down again. And I expect us to come down a little bit lower, somewhere between 38,700 and 39,000. That has yet to actually play out. Once we actually start to see that low point come in, we'll then go and marry up with 5 waves on the right hand side. Again, this will mirror what's going on over here with these 5 waves. This will take us to about $43,000. Now, this is all short-term moves, okay? This is the hourly chart. This is the kind of stuff I imagine it'll play out over a couple of days. Nothing too much. So, you know, probably by Wednesday, we've probably done this and we are collapsing down because Bitcoin is due a much bigger correction, okay? So all of this, these 5, 3, 5 structure, all of that you see on the chart right now is actually a B wave on our daily chart and is indicating the top of a move before we go on down. Okay, so this is not we're going to the moon at this stage. This is a warning that we are probably going to be going down to about $34,000 really soon. Okay, and therefore we should be pretty much open to the idea that this is the last push going higher. Now, this is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice, but everything that I see inside the data is suggesting that this is going to be the high point before we collapse down to about $34,000 in my opinion. Now, at this point in the video, I'm going to say that we have been sponsored by crypto.com, right? This video has been sponsored by crypto.com, the world's fastest growing crypto app with over 10 million users buying and selling cryptocurrency with over 250 different cryptocurrency pairs. This is fantastic because it means that you don't have to worry about the fees being calculated inside the cryptocurrency you might get on some other exchanges. That all fees are calculated separately, which is fantastic. Now, of course, when I say you can buy at the true cost, you can also do this with 20 different fiat currencies. But the main reason that we want to talk about crypto.com is their debit card. Now, their debit card is a fantastic tool that basically allows you to earn cash back on your everyday expenses. We talk about this all the time, and it's a fantastic way to basically just treat your portfolio the way that your portfolio treats you. Now, you can top up your crypto.com debit card with fiat if you wanted to, or cryptocurrency. It's entirely up to you. It's a prepaid debit card, so basically you load up what you want, and you can use it like you would any other debit card that would accept Visa. As we come on down here, there are different types of cards that you can acquire. Everything the lower end starts at 1% cashback all the way up to 8%, depending on the amount of CRO tokens that you delegate or stake with crypto.com. Now, not only will you earn the cashback, you'll also earn the staking rewards for staking Crow as well, which is also really good. Now, all the cashback and rewards are paid to you in the CRO token. Okay, so basically you're getting a volatile asset that sometimes might be down, and therefore you might say, let's say you have a 3% cashback card, you get 3% cashback, but there's a volatile asset. It might go down in value, but it might also go up in value. So that 3% might become 1%, but it could also become 10% pretty quickly within the crypto space. So these kind of debit cards are a great way to actually build your portfolio whilst just actually doing your everyday expenses down the grocery store. So really good stuff. But again, you go a little bit further and beyond. Depending on the type of card that you're looking to acquire, you can of course get things like Spotify, Netflix, Amazon Prime with 100% rebate. Again, that is paid to you in the CRO token. Again, you can obviously delegate, you can stake it, you can earn on it, and again, it's an appreciating asset, right, over time. Right? If you were to hold this for at least 10 years, in my opinion, there's kind of a win situation here. So obviously, you know, it can move down, it can move up, but this is a very volatile market, and with volatility there are risks, but there's also huge rewards and gains. And the benefits that come with these cards are actually really, really good. Everything, as I said, from Spotify, Netflix, Prime to Expedia, Airbnb, airport lounges. And if you're a big bull roller, then you know, you could be in that Obsidian club and get the private jet membership as well. So there's a lot of things that are worth kind of taking a look at for Crypto.com's debit card. Links in the description down below. If you do decide to sign up for one of these and you use the code down below, you'll get $25 to get you going as well. Right, let's get back into the video. So as I was saying, right, this is kind of all that's going to be playing out for Bitcoin here over the next few days, and you know, I can see this going up to a high of about 43k before collapsing it down. Now when I come up into our daily chart here, we can actually see the bigger move, right? So rather than focusing in on those the hourly chart, what do we actually see? Well, we've got a big A move going down. Okay, this is where I think this is going to bottom out at around that 38,700 through to about actually it's a little bit lower than that, isn't it? It's 38,500, the low that's come in, and then we're moving up with those 5 waves, down with those 3 waves, and then up again with those 5 waves, taking us to 43,000. That's the B wave. Okay, this B wave just here, and that would be our 43,000, and then we'll collapse all the way down to 34,000. Okay, now this is something that's going to play over several weeks. This is not going to be quick. It can be, but you know, it's unlikely to be so. I mean, if we take a look at how long it took for the wave A to play out, it'll give us a bit of a guide. This is not any kind of accurate representation, mind, but it took 21 days. Okay, so after we actually hit this B wave high, it could take another 20 odd days to actually see this C wave low, right? This is not a quick time frame. This isn't a 1 minute or 5 minute chart. This is a daily chart, right? So we can see what patterns here, we can see what's going, and obviously there's going to be micro movements that we're going to track inside here, whether we're going to go up, whether we're going to go down, right? And we could trade this if we wanted to, okay? But essentially the macro view here is that we are heading down to $34,500, okay? Now this can be adjusted slightly depending on the waves that form, and we might be able to adjust it a little bit. It might fall short, it might overextend, right? But we'll know more when we actually start seeing that. But on a 1-to-1 ratio, if the A wave is 100%, then our C wave should be 100% of the A wave as well. Typically, that's the most typical. Okay, so that gives us our $34,000 range based on hitting the 43,221. Again, if this does go higher, then we'll adjust it. This also will go higher. If the 43,000 is short, then we'll go down lower on the C wave target. Okay, so we'll update this accordingly. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the stochastic RSI. We can see that we've lowered this down a little bit. Pushing up to 43,000 will basically take us back up into the overbought area, in my opinion, and then we'll collapse down, taking us back to the oversold area. The main reason for this adjustment is that what is required is our weekly chart also needs to move down into the oversold area. So 21 days of moving down in a 5-wave pattern should get us down into the oversold area, in my opinion, and then we can start talking about moving on up. Now, the monthly chart's already in the heavily oversold area, right? And basically our stochastic RSI on our monthly, let me bring that up, is in a really, really good spot. And last time that we were down in this oversold position, okay, was of course, you know, basically January 2019, the start of Bitcoin's bull run. Okay, this is actually where wave 1 started on the weekly chart for BTC. Okay, and we are right back down in that position. Now you can go ahead and look at the charts, go back to January 2019 to know what happened here. I don't expect us to move straight up at the moment. We need the weekly chart to come down. So we are talking about $34,000, but after $34,000, I think a big reversal is coming. And you know, we've already talked about, you know, the amount of Bitcoin that's leaving the exchanges. The exchanges are at a multi-year low in terms of the balance of Bitcoin that they have available to sell. And as a result of this, you know, over 3 million BTC has left exchanges this year. The number of whales that have been accumulated is increasing. The number of wallets with over 1,000 BTC has increased dramatically since February and continues to grow. Essentially, the whales are accumulating. Are you? That's a question. I can't obviously answer that for you. Just think about what's going on here. What does the data tell us? The data tells us that there's a huge accumulation of BTC happening whilst this price is falling back down. Why is it pulling back down? Because maybe influencers are saying that we're going down to $20,000. Maybe they're saying we're going down to $25,000. I don't know. Maybe that's because there isn't much demand at the moment, right? No one wants to buy an asset if it's falling down, right? But I tell you what, the whales seem to be accumulating. They're accumulating heavily, and they're probably doing it off the backs of retail investors who are using leverage by creating pockets of liquidity. Okay, so for me, I look at this data and what do I see? I see accumulation happening. I see the number of wallets with holding more than 1,000 BTC increasing. I see a monthly stochastic RSI that's completely in the floor. It can go down a little bit lower, okay, but we're currently at 5.8 on the fast line and 4.6 on the slow line. But essentially that can and will grow massively to the upside. The last time that we were this low on the monthly chart was, of course, at the beginning of the actual bull run in 2019. Yes, that's where Bitcoin started its bull run. And essentially, that's looking really, really strong. I think the pullback to $34,000 is going to be lined up incredibly nicely with the weekly chart going into the oversold area, the daily chart going into the oversold area, and pretty much 8, 12, whatever time frame you're looking for. Also being down there, completing the Elliott wave C wave low on the daily chart and indicating a big reversal coming. And I do imagine it's going to be a big 5-wave move upwards. Looking at all of the data, it's hard to imagine that 100k Bitcoin isn't possible. But according to Elliott wave theory, we have anywhere between $79,000 and $108,000 as the most typical range for BTC. So new all-time highs definitely seem to be on the horizon here, in my opinion. But guys, I am not a financial advisor. I cannot offer you financial advice. All I can do is kind of give you my thoughts and opinions on what this data is suggesting to me, and the data to me suggests that we are going to be heading up towards this sweet spot here between 79,000 and 108,000, and if we're lucky, there is the $165,000 Bitcoin. But again, I think we'd have to have a lot of things lined up for that one personally. Guys, if you found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.